नशा पंजवा में बारन पंजवा में बारन आई बला झूले लालन जिंदड़ी दा पंजवा में बारन आई बला झूल लालन जिंदड़ी दा सेवण दा जिंदड़ी दा सेवण दा सखी शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर दमे दम दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर दमे दम दम दे अंदर लाल मेरी पत रखियो बला झूले लालन लाल मेरी लाल मेरी पत रखियो बला झूले लालन जिंदड़ी दा सेवण दा जिंदड़ी दा सेवण दा सखी शाबाश कलंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर दमे दम दम दे अंदर दमादम मस्त कलंदर
that music has power. The power to make you feel experience, happiness, sadness, and change your mood in this world that we live in. Today, we have with us Mr. Adolf, a versatile vocalist trained in Hindustani vocals, and along with him, we have Mr. Glenn Fernandez, an accomplished keyboardist who has also worked with Yamaha as a keyboard specialist. Today's topic is Have I improved? How can I check? So, over to Adolf now. Thank you.
Namaste. Music touches emotionally where words alone can't. A lot of important topics today. So before we begin, I would like to welcome all of you, and I'm so thankful for you being here. Okay, we have today attendees using laptops and mobile phones. जो लोग laptop use कर रहे हैं, you have two screens where you can see the visuals and you can see me. For the phone users, you'll have to switch in between. Don't worry, I'll guide you through. So the people using laptops, on your left hand side, you can see visuals, and on the top right, you can see me. On the right hand side, you can see a small chat box where I'll be asking you questions, I'll be talking to you. So if you could reply back to me, that would be really lovely. For the mobile users, it's the same. Whenever you switch in between, you can see a small chat box. जब भी मैं आपसे कुछ questions पूछ रहा हूँगा, if you could answer back to me, that would be great. So before we begin, I'd like to ask you whether you would like to listen to me in English. If it is English, I can continue the webinar in English. अगर आप मेरी आवाज़ हिंदी में सुनना चाहते हैं तो मुझे टाइप करके बता दीजिए कि आप हिंदी में सुनना चाहते हैं, एंड वी कैन कंटिन्यू इन हिंदी. जल्दी से मुझे अपना लैंग्वेज प्रेफरेंस बता दीजिए. बोथ ओके, हिंदी, इंग्लिश इज फाइन. तो मुझे मिक्स्ड आंसर्स आ रहे हैं. वी विल मिक्स बोथ ऑफ देम अप. हम दोनों को यूज करेंगे और आशा करते हैं कि वेबिनार अच्छे से जाएगा. तो बात रही इम्प्रूवमेंट की. आस्क योर सेल्फ अ क्वेश्चन, हैव आई इम्प्रूव्ड? आपसे मैं पूछना चाहता हूं कि जब आपने म्यूजिक स्टार्ट किया या बजाना स्टार्ट किया, तब से लेकर आज तक क्या आप में इम्प्रूवमेंट दिखी है? क्या आपको लगता है कि आप इम्प्रूव हुए हो, या आप उस पाथ में हो इम्प्रूवमेंट के? मुझे बता दीजिए कि आपको जेन्युइनली लगता है कि आप इम्प्रूव कर चुके हो, या आप ऑन द वे हो? 2-3 आंसर आ रहे हैं। आप मुझे बताइए कि आपको क्या लगता है अपनी इम्प्रूवमेंट के बारे में? Okay, I can see some answers coming in. Good. Some people say that they have improved and some are on the way. So, how to check if you've improved? Number one thing, like in a previous webinars, I've told you breathing is really important. Breathing helps you. You'll ask me, how can breathing help me? तो इनिशियली इफ यू वेयर टू सिंग अ नोट, क्या अगर आप एक नोट गा रहे हैं या एक सुर गा रहे हैं, तो स्टार्टिंग में आप 2 या 3 सेकंड उसको होल्ड कर पा रहे होंगे। ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइज करके अपनी लंग्स की कैपेसिटी या स्ट्रेंथ को बढ़ा कर आप उस नोट्स को और ड्यूरेशन, लंबी ड्यूरेशन तक पकड़ सकें। यू कैन सिंग इट फॉर अ लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन। Let's take an example. I can give you a small example. If you were singing a note, if you're singing a note, so if you were beginning your singing practice or your vocal exercise, you would be able to sing it for 2 or 3 seconds. As you improved, as you practice more and more, you can hold it for a longer duration. जैसे बोलते हैं practice makes a man perfect. The more you practice, the more you control your breathing, the more it helps you. So if you were to practice every day, you could identify the notes of a song. Can you? मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि जब भी आप प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं या एक सॉन्ग को सुन रहे हैं, कैन यू आइडेंटिफाई द नोट्स और द बोल ऑफ दैट सॉन्ग? मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लूंगा यहाँ पे। तेरी ज़मीं तेरा आसमान, इसका छोटा सा एग्जांपल मैं आपको दे सकता हूँ। सा रे गा मा पा धा नी सा धा पा। You will ask me, how do we identify the notes of the song? Everyone can do this. It's shocking, I know. Everyone can do this. We just need to get familiar. The concept I want to tell you about being familiar with the notes is you already are familiar with the notes. See, in our previous exercises, in your vocal practice, in your everyday riyaz, see, you have already sung your sa se sa, you have sung your saptak, you have done your riyaz, you've added alankars, you've added the staircase exercises, you've learned the raga scales. Yeah, so everyone can do this. You'll be surprised to know your brain and ears are already familiar with the notes. How can I check? Okay, I'll play a note and I want you to pitch it with me. All right? बहुत ही सिंपल है। मैं एक नोट बजाऊंगा, आप उसको सुन के मेरे साथ गाएं। बस इतना सा छोटा सा एक्सरसाइज है। आई जस्ट वांट टू शो यू दैट यू आर ऑलरेडी फेमिलियर विद ऑल द नोट्स दैट वी आर डूइंग। एक रैंडम नोट है, आप पहले सुने। यहाँ पे मैंने पहली सफेद की के सरगम में गा का नोट लिया था। इसको आप चेक कैसे कर सकते हैं कि आपको ये नोट आता है कि नहीं? तो एक छोटा सा एक्टिविटी करेंगे, बहुत ही सिंपल एक्टिविटी है। मेरे पास यहाँ पे कुछ चिट्स हैं जिसमें मैंने सा से सा तक 2-3 सारे 7 सुर लिखे हुए हैं। तो हम रैंडमली एक नोट लेंगे, तो हमें मिला गा। तो अगर हम गा गा रहे हैं, गा हमने पहले एक्सरसाइज में गाया था, तो हम एक और नोट लेंगे। पा, हमें पा मिल गया। सा रे गा मा पा। मैं चाहता हूं कि आप सुने और मेरे साथ गाएं। एक और नोट लेंगे, सा। इस छोटे से एक्सरसाइज से मैं ये बताना चाहता हूं कि जो भी नोट्स आप सुन रहे हैं, आप उसको आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं क्योंकि आप ऑलरेडी नोट्स जान चुके हैं। इस एक्सरसाइज को आप किसी भी स्केल में कर सकते हैं, किसी भी की में कर सकते हैं। तो हमने ये कर लिया एक्सरसाइज। अब हम करेंगे, हम दो तीन सुर लेंगे, हम दो सुरों को लेंगे। पहले पहले हमारा हो गया सा गा सा, सा रे मा पा नी सा। I'm sure when you listen to these notes, you got a song in your head. आपको एक song आया होगा अपने दिमाग में. I would like you to type and tell me which song that is. I'm pretty sure you got a song in your head as soon as you heard these notes. I'm waiting for your answers. Lovely. The song is Vande Mataram. So the basic thing that I wanted to tell you, ki the notes of the song and the notes that you've been practicing, if you're familiar with the notes, you can sing easily. You can also challenge yourself by doing octaves. Octaves, with octaves, I mean the notes that are in the lower सप्तक and in the तार सप्तक. तो अगर हम एक नोट ले रहे हैं सा, उसी का ऊपर वाला नोट जो हमारा सप्तक का लास्ट नोट है, हम उसको भी गाएंगे सा, तो हम उसको नीचे से ऊपर तक जंप कर रहे हैं. तो ये बहुत ही अच्छा एक्सरसाइज है ताकि आप इम्प्रूव कर सकें, आप चेक कर सकें कि आप गा सकते हैं कि नहीं. अभी मैं एक रैंडम सा नोट लूंगा. तो यहाँ पे हमने एक ब्रैकेट बना दिया, हमने नीचे का नोट भी गाया, हमने ऊपर का नोट भी गाया. तो एक और नोट लेते हैं. ऑक्टेव जंप करके तो ये बहुत ही सिंपल सा एक्सरसाइज था. दो तीन वेज हमने सीखे अब हमारे इम्प्रूवमेंट को चेक करने के लिए. तो यू कैन प्ले दिस म्यूजिकल गेम टू चेक योर इम्प्रूवमेंट. We have Glenn on the other side who is going to tell us more about. But did you know the very first song that was recorded in India was Rag Jogia by Gauhar Jan in 1902. 1902 में राग जोगिया नाम का पहला गाना रिकॉर्ड हुआ था जो गौहर जान जी ने गाया था. So we have Glenn, over to him. I think Glenn will take some more time. Oh, he's here. Hey.
Yeah. Hey. You can see the candle, right?
Yeah.
Check this out. Ha, 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 ha. Right again. Ah. You see that? It's one of the tricks. If the flame is still on, that means you are singing from your diaphragm. All right. And if it blows out, singing you the air without the diaphragm, singing out my throat, that means you need to practice a little more. All right. Well, this is a small little thing I learned a long time back when I was studying. So I thought I'll share it with you guys. But thank you, Adolf, for the wonderful session. I think a lot of people understood all this, techniques of catching, knowing what notes they're familiar with. So my name is Glenn Fernandez, and I'm so excited to be here again with you, with all of you. I've seen some names that are already there. Previously, they were there, and now they're again here on this webinar. It's so good to see and have all of you all here with your questions and some new people. Welcome to all of you. Let me ask you a question first. Why do we have 2 ears and 1 mouth? भगवान ने हमें 2 कान और 1 मुंह क्यों दिया है? I know it's a very peculiar question, but Why 2 ears and one mouth? Oh, I think Mr. Ram, that's the correct answer that you've given there. It's because to listen more and speak less. Okay. In my case, I keep on doing both. So it's very different. Anyway, so when you talk about 2 ears, that means it's stereo, right? Two speakers, two stereo. So headphones or earphones, something like these, are very common, right? हमारे घर में already we have all this all the time. So they are so helpful for us to train our ears. All right. So obviously, naming at the correct volume is very important. You have to have them at decent volume. I don't think you want to damage your ears by pulling in the volume. All right. So, but having proper set of, listening to your headphones in correct volume will allow you and allow us, all of us, to get inspired to practice more, because when we listen to great quality of the sound coming, especially from the Yamaha I series, I to get more inspired to sing more better, and then I try to perform better. All right. So so now that you learned in the last sessions, and whoever learning keyboard, they're learning keyboard, you want to check how do you how are you playing. All right. That's what we're talking about today, is how do we check, how do we gauge, कैसे हम चेक करें कि हम अच्छा बजा रहे हैं, हम अच्छा प्ले कर रहे हैं, we are growing or we are improving. We need to do that. For keyboard, it's very simple. I'll show you. Just a moment. It is this. Can you guys see what's on the screen? It's called recording. Before, पहले के टाइम पे बहुत मुश्किल था. You couldn't record. वो बड़ा tape, you need all that kind of stuff. Now it's so easy. You have a phone, you can record. You have a keyboard, you can record. Okay, so having the keyboard is very very important, because अब क्या कर सकते हैं, you can record inside the keyboard, and the best part is you are allowed to record with just pressing one button. Just one button I can press keyboard के ऊपर, and instantaneously whatever I play, मैं जो भी बजा रहा, whatever I'm playing, buttons, changing sounds, everything will be recorded inside my iSeries with just one button. I know it sounds a little, different, difficult to understand. Like, how is it possible? Because recording should not be too difficult, right? So, having your recording button, just one button to press, and it is so fast. You won't believe how fast you can record and play back a song. So, just one button go to press. We have Adolf there. He's got the iSeries there. Adolf, can you please press that button, the golden button called record, and show our attendees how fast we can record?
Sure, Glenn. So you'll be really surprised to know that there's just one button called record. You press it. I've pressed it right now. It's waiting for me. I play whatever I want. I've stopped it. It's recording, it's writing. And just one button, I play it and you can listen to it.
Awesome.
That's it.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Adolf.
Glenn, I had one more doubt. Ki
Yes,
I can see a USB port here. I can use
exactly.
it to record my songs also, yes?
Yes, not only you can record your songs in the USB. The USB is given at the rear of the keyboard. You can save your songs into the pen drive, and not only that, you can also play back MIDI files. You can play back audio files, wave files from the pen drive. So perhaps if you want us to do a specific webinar with all the iSeries functions and stuff like that, people who've bought iSeries, who are thinking of buying the iSeries, if you think you want us to do, you want me to do a webinar to explain to you these things, you want to ask me those questions, please email us and let us know, and we'll be very happy to do this for you in the next coming webinar. All right. Next, if I see it's very easy that you can see how checking your performance by just pressing the button record, and you can listen to yourself. The best part is you can record this in the pen drive, and you can share on your social media to your friends, everybody, becomes so much easier. हमारे जितने भी दोस्त हैं, you want to share this music that you do, you can do this using the USB function to make these things. And definitely जब आपके पास I series होगा, you'll be very easy to do all these funky in things to check your improvement and perform better. All right. Now, I was just thinking that I need to share with you one of the experiences जब लॉकडाउन नहीं था और हमारी लाइफ बिल्कुल बहुत नॉर्मल थी. That time I was traveling for some performance in some other city or something. I don't know which city. I think it was Hyderabad or something. And at that time, the organizer आता है मेरे पास, and we are doing sound check, and he says, Glenn, there's a singer, a guest singer, to perform for one song. So I was like, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, and we are doing our sound check, हम कर रहे हैं, we're doing our things. And by the way, I've never met this singer in my life. Okay, पहली बार मैं मिल रहे हैं, and she's supposed to be one of the singers there. And she comes, and then I ask her, अच्छा गाना ये है, okay, क्या की है, right? And she's like, पता नहीं. I was like, अच्छा. तो फिर मैंने फिर से पूछा, asked her again, आपका कौन सा स्केल है, कौन सा स्केल में आप गाना गाए? And again she thought, said, पता नहीं. So I had nothing to do. I said, "Ab gaiye, or I'll find out the key." Then I found out the key. I told all the bad boys, and everybody got to know, "Achha, is key mein gana hai, and let's perform." And we had a great gig. Okay, so this is one of the examples that came across at that time. So I feel this is of pivotal importance. बहुत बहुत ज़रूरी है for singers to know what is your key. If you don't know this, it will be very, very difficult to go anywhere and perform. Okay, so you have to know what key you are singing in. So I would like to ask Adolf to please show us how do we find our key. Okay, all right, so over to Adolf. Adolf, there you
Sure,
go.
Glenn. I think what Glenn meant by key is your sur. It's any comfortable bracket that you sing or perform in. ये ऐसा सुर है या आपका मोस्ट कंफर्टेबल नोट है जिसमें आप गा सकें. तो हमारे अटेंडीज में मेल्स, फीमेल्स, लड़के लड़कियां सब हैं. तो मैं सबको एड्रेस करना चाहता हूं. हम स्केल को ज़्यादातर डिफ्रेंशिएट कर सकते हैं मेल वॉइस और फीमेल वॉइस में. तो मेल वॉइस में मोस्टली नोट्स जो यूज़ होते हैं जिस सुर में हम उनका वॉइस पकड़ते हैं वो है सी या सी शार्प, जो हो गई पहली सफ़ेद की या पहली काली. तो अभी हम पहली काली लेंगे. और हम चेक करेंगे कि कितने नोट्स हम इस सा से नीचे गा सकते हैं और ऊपर वाले सा से कितने नोट हम और ऊपर जा सकते हैं. तो ये हमारा ब्रैकेट हो गया. चलिए देखते हैं. सा नी धा पा. यहाँ पे हमने 3 नोट नीचे गाए. अगर हम ऊपर वाला सा लेते हैं, सा रे गा मा, तो ये हो गया हमारा ब्रैकेट. तो इसको हम हमारा की बोलते हैं. अगर हम कहीं इसको इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं तो हम पहली काली या सी शार्प बोलेंगे. Coming to the female voice, so we have understood ki male voice we are singing in C sharp. Coming to the female voices, it's mostly sung on G or G sharp. Okay, it's your पांचवी सफेद की या चौथी काली. तो हम नोट्स लेंगे. क्षमा चाहता हूँ, मेरे लिए लो हो जाएगा, पर आई वुड लव द फीमेल ऑडियंस टू पिच एंड ट्राई टू सिंग इट इन द मोस्ट कंफर्टेबल वॉइस. हम इससे अब नीचे जाएंगे. हमने 4 नोट नीचे गा लिए. अब हम अगर ऊपर वाला सा लेंगे, तो हमने ऐसे हमारा ब्रैकेट डिफाइन कर लिया। कुछ मतलब कंफ्यूजिंग बात नहीं है, इट इज अ वेरी सिंपल एस्पेक्ट दैट यू नीड टू सिंग इन द मोस्ट कंफर्टेबल नोट दैट यू कैन फाइंड। अपने वॉइस पर स्ट्रेन नहीं होना चाहिए, एंड दैट इज व्हाट वी मीन बाय की। सो द नेक्स्ट टाइम you're jamming, or the next time you're singing or you're practicing, it's very important to find your key, and then everything is as good as new. Did you know what does the logo of Yamaha mean? आप यामाहा का लोगो देख सकते हैं। क्या आपको पता है कि बीच में जो आपको सिंबल दिख रहा है उसका मीनिंग क्या है, या वो क्या है? अगर किसी को इसका आंसर पता है तो प्लीज मुझे रिप्लाई करके बता दीजिए। लवली, आई कैन सी सम करेक्ट आंसर्स। जो वहां पे यामाहा के लोगों के बीच में तीन ट्यूनिंग फोक्स हैं।
Thank you. You all enjoyed the session. To wrap it up, quick review. I'll just put on this so you guys can see the quick review. We found out how we can improve by guessing the note. I've all shared with you how do we check and guess the notes by just listening to it and listening to the notes and playing it on the keyboard. What is the need of the headphones? All right, we learned how cool the feature of recording is, how we can record in the keyboard and then save it to the USB later on and share it with our friends on social media. And we also found out our key, which is really, really important. And I really think it's so, so good that we could touch this topic and share with all of you these topics. But today I have a separate small surprise for all of you. All this last two webinars we did so many things that we could share with all of you. But today I thought maybe that we just change a little bit. And before we get into the Q&A session, I asked Adolphe if he could just help us and let everybody enjoy his beautiful singing with this beautiful song. So a special song for only you guys who are there on our webinar today by Adolphe. So enjoy this song.
ਹੋਰ ਕੀ ਮੰਗਣਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਕੋਲ, ਇੱਕ ਖੈਰ ਮੰਗਾ ਤੇਰੇ ਦੀ ਬਾਚ ਸਜਣੇ लजपाल तेरे मैं को जिया कम दी। नित खैर मंगा, नित खैर मंगा, नित खैर मंगा सोनिया मैं तेरी दुआ ना कोई होर मंगदी। नित खैर मंगा सोनिया मैं तेरी दुआ ना कोई होर मंगदी। तेरे पैरां च अखीर होवे मेरी, तेरे पैरां च अखीर होवे मेरी दुआ ना कोई होर मंगदी। नित खैर मंगा सोनिया मैं तेरी दुआ ना कोई होर मंगदी। तेरे प्यार दिता जदों दा सहारा वे, तेरे प्यार दिता जदों दा सहारा वे, माया भुल गया मैनू जग सारा वे, माया भुल गया मैनू जग सारा वे, किवें हो तैनू खुशिए हो मैनू सजना बतेरी दुआ ना कोई होर मंगदी। नित खैर मंगा सोनिया मैं तेरी दुआ ना कोई होर मंगदी। तो ये जो गाना आपने सुना, ये एक बहुत ही फेमस सॉन्ग नित खैर मंगा है, जिसको और भी फेमस नुसरत फ़तेह अली खान साहब ने किया है। तो इसको मैंने गाया था हमारे कीबोर्ड के सुपर्ब स्टाइल फंक्शन या रिदम फंक्शन से, जिसके बारे में वो कैसे यूज़ होता है, क्या होता है, हम कैसे उसको हमारे सॉन्ग्स में यूज़ कर सकते हैं, वो हम विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट इट इन द नेक्स्ट वेबिनार. And I want to see you all of you there, because it is a very important function. It is a very important thing for new keyboard players to learn. And yeah, we have Glenn on the other side. We'll be open for question and answers. So please, you can ask Glenn. If you are asking Glenn a question, you can type Glenn, and then you can ask your question. If you want me to answer, you can type it all, and we can go forward.
That is really cool. It's good to know that. All right, so the first question comes from Vivek. He says, "What are tuning forks?" So Vivek, for your answer, tuning forks are these, like a A-shaped. If you see on the Yamaha, you can see them. The A-shaped, it's metal made of iron. They are used to tell us the pitch, like a hall pitch, 404, 44 100. The tuning pitch that is there. So if you hit it on anywhere on your bone or on this thing, you just need kind of sound, and then you tune everything. So that is called tuning fork. That's where it comes from. So Yamaha's got three of them. Okay. Next question from Miss Ari Aritra. Aritra. Sorry if I'm not taking your name correctly. Aritra. So, how to identify a scale change in the middle of a piece, especially if the two scales have similar tones? Adolf?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I got a question correctly, but I'll try to answer it to the best of my knowledge. Two scales cannot have the same tones. It can have the same tune, but it will have different scales. So if you're singing in a particular scale, you'll have जैसे I would like to tell you कि if there's a particular piece like, so it will be in a scale. It'll be in particular scale. It'll be in the sa. So it'll be in C or C sharp or D. Some other tune. It can be the same tune but in a different scale. So if you can train your ears to pick one scale, as soon as it is changed, you will understand.
Okay. There's a question from Ram. Adolf, could you please compare Rag Hamir and Kedar with a simple example?
We'll be doing rags in the next session, because we are using the rags, and we have already done a webinar on rags, and we have a huge section more to go. So I would love, Ram, was it? I would love you
Yes,
to love to have you in the next webinar, so that we can discuss on the rags and the examples and the way they've been used, and our examples, the way you've heard it, the way I've heard it, and we can move forward.
exactly, exactly. Then we have another question from Ram about to me. I used to practice the harmonium in India, but couldn't do it here. You're in Canada, so nice to see you from Canada. Could you suggest a keyboard which could match best with harmonium? It's a very difficult question, Ram. The point is, if you take a keyboard, you will have a accordion sound or a tango accordion. So it is you cannot there is no replacement, or you can say something very close to get with it. You can use the Muset, or you can use in any of the Yamaha keyboards you get in the section of strings. You'll get Muset, you'll get the Tango organ. You can manage with those ones. But the new boards, like if you I don't you will not get the I series in Canada. However, if you have the other series, then you can get the packs, and then you can have the similar harmonium sounds coming in them. The expansion keyboards, which have expansion packs. I will be talking about them later on. I mean, on the website and on YouTube, we always have this information. You can always check from there. Okay. I hope I answered your question, Ram. So, how can I identify the scale in the middle of piece? I think we explained this answer. There's a question, Glenn. Can you help me out? How to sample music? Oh, it's not so difficult. This is from Pranav. Pranav, sampling music. If you're doing it in the, in the I 500, it's pretty simple. You just need to get a note from outside, and you just load the note. I mean, record the note inside the I series. There's a video on YouTube that you can check of how do I load, samples inside the I series, especially the I 500, and then you'll understand. You just need one note, and all the keyboard will become the same instrument that you want it to be. Okay, so that you can do. So I hope you can try that out. You check the video for that. Probably in the, a session, maybe do a webinar, especially for the I series users, where there are all these features that are going to be covered. Probably then you can attend one of those, and then you can get more information about that. We have another question for Adolf. So, how to
Yeah.
identify the scale change in the middle of a piece, especially in two scales have a similar note? I think we did this question just now, right? We did, right,
I
Adolf?
think we answered. I That was the first question we answered.
Yes. I think you're not so happy with the answer.
Like if the scale is changing, it will be either like rarely it
How to
goes
identify
downwards, but
the
it's
scale
always the scales that are
change
going higher.
in the middle of
In the middle of piece, it just raises up,
two scales.
and the notes may be same, but the scale changes. There's a pure distinction between a scale change in between of a piece or not. So if you were singing or if you were playing, I'll just show you an example. So this would be the D scale, and if I just went half a step up, see, there's a clear distinction. You just need to get familiar with the notes, and as you're singing, the moment it changes, your ears will quickly pick up that the scale has changed.
Anita, I hope I hope this is satisfying answer for you. But your question, which I'm just reading it again and I try to understand what you're trying to say. If you really meant that to identify the scale in the middle of a piece, that means if a song, the scale changes, how do you get to know about it, right? So, as Adolf explained, it's very evident to your ears to know when the thing's going to change. However, in music, there is different chords that are played, and you will see the chord changing to the next scale. So, for instance, he's playing on C, and then there are different chords. You may think it's a different scale, but it's not the same. It's different scale, same scale. It's just that the chords have been played differently. So there are many times, unless a song is sung in one key and then it goes to another key to the to in a semitone up, or a whole tone up. So it depends on that. Okay, so you can listen to it. It's very evident. This is a question from Amrita. I'm a beginner. I don't have much knowledge about Western styles. How to identify chords in a song? So it is not what the topic we are doing today. However, I can just quickly tell you about how to identify chords. So every key sorry, the main part is to find the key. Say example, I find the key of C. Okay. Now every note in the key of C has got its own requirement. Like example, the first will be a major, second will be a minor, third will be a minor, fourth will be a major, fifth will be a major, sixth will be a minor. Okay, then you've got seven. So if you take a key of C, probably in those six notes, your song will be covered up. Okay, if it is in that key. People would may use other chords also, which can come inside the scale of C, which you can use. Depends. Okay, this is like basic. As you said, you're a beginner. I think to start off with this is good enough. Taking a song with three chords should be good enough.
Anita ji, if you're listening to a song, and if it's a major song, if it's a happy tone, it's a major song. Most There's a huge chance that you'll have three major chords in it. There's always a group of three that always works in a particular song. So if you were singing any song or any scale for that matter, it'll have three chords that will be just going along. As soon as the tune is going on, the chords will be going along. You just need to listen to the songs and identify what chords are playing in background. Chords is just a collection of the notes. They say sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. Here sa, ga, and pa is your C chord. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. There's a question for Dolph. Can you play some Carnatic music on the keyboard with different functions in the keyboard?
Yeah, exactly. The next webinar is about styles. We are covering every Carnatic beat, we're covering Mridangam, we're covering the different tones that are used. So please stick around because we'll be doing every part of India. So please stick around. We'll be
Yeah,
doing
but I
folk,
think, Adolf, you can play one of the Carnatic styles. Maybe
yeah,
you can use uh, Tamil, or
maybe. I can just give you a quick,
just play the introduction. Probably they can understand what it is. Introduction of the song.
just a minute. This is what is pre-recorded in the keyboard, and we'll be talking about the scales and the styles and every groove from every part of India in the next webinar. So please stick around. It's a very important webinar. I want all of you there.
Okay. Um, we begin this. How can you play some music? Can I tell you how to identify the listening? So the question from Gadgesh. Gadgesh, can you tell me how to identify notes by listening? I think we already covered this, Gadgesh. I think if you came late, you can probably listen to the telecast, which is done before. You can record it will be broadcasted. You can see it again. He just explained how you can use these listening techniques to learn these to identify the notes. It's all about getting familiar with the notes.
देखिए
The next
एक
question
छोटा सा
from
recap.
Daniel
Yeah,
is Riaz like volume and style? Is Riaz like volume? Is Riaz like volume and style? It is not a volume and style, Daniel. Riaz is, you know,
practice.
a group of three instruments that are needed for people to practice. That means you need tabla, you need tanpura, mainly for Hindustani, and for Carnatic you need tanpura and mridangam.
Mridangam.
Okay? So that is your set that you need to practice. Along with that, your instrument can be harmonium or anything that you select. So it is unlike the style. The style has got a bass, it got other instruments like chords and guitar and other things like that. So in this particular thing, like Riyaz, we do not have the other elements because it's Riyaz. You have to practicing for classical, like someone like Adolf who's practicing classical does not need a bass guitar to play along with him in the Riyaz. You understand? So that's why it is limited to those kind of features. That's why Riyaz is the only feature in the world with the I series that has got this kind of a setup for you to use. Unlike
And
styles, which have
yeah,
got bass and chords and all these other things, you can have them in style section. So they will have those kind of elements to let you play your songs. You cannot attempt classical songs with all these things, you know. So
a
that is
quick
how it is.
distinction between style and Riyaz would be Riyaz is pure. Like style has bass and keyboard, as Glenn told us, but Riyaz has your basic elements that you need for singing. It has the function in the I-500 has the tals, it has the tanpura, it has the different, it has four different variations of tanpura, and it's five different variations of the tal. So Riyaz is just for practice. Riyaz in its original form means practice. So this is the basic set for practice.
There's another question from Jitendra. How will modes in Western music useful in the keyboard? In this keyboard,
I'm sorry, I did not catch that question.
how will modes in Western music useful with this keyboard?
Modes. I'm sorry, Jitendra, if you could elaborate on your question. Are you talking about the different styles of Western playing? Because this keyboard has everything. The I series is not just for the Indian series, it has everything that Western contains, it has everything that India contains. So it's the best of both worlds. Whatever you want to play, any style, be it waltz, be it 8 beat, be it anything, anything of your Western is there in the keyboard, anything of your Indian is there in the keyboard.
Yeah. Okay. So, Jitendra, if you can clarify your question, if you meant about modes, then there are different kind of modes that you want to play. Okay, so for instance, you want to do like a what? Like you want to do like a Locrian mode, or you want to do a Lydian mode. So they are very similar to the ragas that are there. However, the ragas that are placed right now in the keyboard are majorly the ones that you learn with and not to play with. There are some more of them. We'll touch on that topic a little later on because there are so many other people asking so many questions, so we cannot just get stuck up at one thing. Okay, so we'll try to do that. And next question is by. Next question is by. You always, that was India. You always know how to better for your. Thank you very much, Mr. Ram, for your kind, highlighting this. Sorry, connection is going off from here. Yes, Mr. Ram, sorry. Glenn, can I add an expansion pack to the i455? No, I'm sorry. Jeevan, you cannot add any expansion packs to the i455 because the i455 does not have the expansion memory inside the keyboard. Okay, what you can do is you can add external styles. So on the website, which is yamahamusicsoft.com, uh, we've released five new styles for the i455 that you can download, and they're only styles that you can just import inside your keyboard. So if you see your styles, in the end of the style there is five empty spaces. User styles they're called. So you can fill those five into them, and that's what you can get. Okay, but again, since the i455 was limited, it doesn't have limited space because people are not so much looking for these things. So it has got that limited space to have only those things, not no expansion packs. Okay, we go to the next question. Why do we need to plug in an adapter, not battery, while recording in USB? Nobody said that. You can use adapter, you can use battery, and while recording in USB, you can. The point is, you have to record the song in your keyboard first, then you transfer it to the USB. That's how it happens. It's not recording directly to the USB. No, it goes from the keyboard you play to the keyboard, and from the keyboard it saves into the USB. Okay. Next question from Vivan. Does Yamaha i500 have touchscreen? No, man. Doesn't have touchscreen. Doesn't have touchscreen. Vijay, the question i455 has wave format compatibility? No, it
No.
does not have. Vivan again. I am a music producer, very good composer. May you give me some tips? Oh, tips. Ah, man, this is, I mean, this webinar is not again, as I said, for music producers and composers for tips. But a quick tip I could just share with you is if you are into music, you're producing music and you're a composer, and you want to know more about arrangement, then I would suggest you to listen to a lot of styles, how the styles have been constructed. Okay, it'll give you an idea of what kind of instruments go with each other. Like an Indian instruments, when we play the Indian style, like a bhajan or a bhangra or whatever, you can always see how the instruments gel with each other and how they play along with each other. So that tonal sonic quality is what you can get from that. Okay, and then obviously you have so many other ways of doing workarounds of how you start a project and all those kind of things. But maybe in the next webinar we can talk more in detail about these things. And yes, I think you can get a lot of tips then. Okay, depending on being specific of how do you want to do this and do that, then we can talk about that. All right. Vivek says hi. How can hey, where's one? Is it gone? Oh, there's so many messages jumping up. I'm sorry, Vivek. I can't. I've lost your thing. Where's it gone? Uh, Vivek, Arya. Here. Oh, sorry, Vivek. How can we figure out the bass notes of a melody? Hmm. I mean, it comes back to the same part, Vivek.
Yeah.
Once you find the chord, you will understand the notes of the chord. The first note of every chord would be the bass note of it.
Mm.
Now, it depends on you on that topic. If we talk more about it, it says there are many things to with bass chords. There are tonics, there are slash, there are a couple of things that go into this. So it's a kind of a, kind of two different topic altogether, which will kind of, get everybody off the topic which we are talking right now to check. Okay, so we'll work on that in a while. This has changed. Yeah. Okay, then the question comes to, can you figure out the base? Okay, uh, what is the difference between I? Okay, the difference between I500 and I400, I would suggest you please watch the video. They've got their own, things that they offer. I can just say that I400 is for students, I500 is for the teacher, for the musician who wants to add more and wants more features to make his playing better. Okay. How many grades in Trinity we can compare with the I500? Well, the Trinity grades up to from initial to grade 5. Okay, and you can also download. There's a setup that you can download from the website in.yamaha.com, where you have all these setups, the settings of your pieces from initial to grade 5. On the website, you can download it, and it's much convenient. You don't need to search and waste time in selecting the style, the tempo, the instruments, and all that stuff. Okay. Okay, Glenn, thank you very much for. Thank you very much, Jeevan. What's the difference between iPhone 55? Dude, Daniel, iPhone 55, i500. As you know, the time was so much difference between both of them. The i500 got much more stuff than the iPhone 55. Okay, and there is, I mean, when the people ask me the difference, I mean, it's very difficult to say what you want me to talk about differences. There are a lot of stuff that has been enhanced, and there are many things that have gone in because the time is changing. Okay, we've come to 2020 and people want so much more from everything that they buy, whether it's a phone, whether it's a key instrument, whether it's people also. So there's a big difference when you get the chance to play the i500. I definitely would, I'm sure you'll get to know so much more about how much it happens. If you want, you can also watch uh, the the YouTube has got so many videos that are there from our website, Yamaha Music India and Yamaha Global, that you get to hear the correct quality, and also you'll get to see what the new features are there in the i500. Okay.
iPhone 5, if
Um,
the iPhone 5 is right here, it just upgraded to i500 right here. That's all you need to know. It's just
it's
there's so much
question
there.
from Hi Adolph and Glenn. You said all music from India. Sadly, no northeastern tones. Edward, now, my understanding to Northeast, that I've been to Northeast a couple of times, I've not seen any instruments there, to be honest. I've seen always bass guitar and distortion guitar, and everybody's like in the rock mood. But yes, we have tried to use that stick, that the dance that they have, the stick dance. We tried getting that sound in the board, and we are also always in the look of new improvements that we can, and definitely we will be giving you a lot of more stuff in the future that you're going to see, and definitely yes, northeast tones you will have. I know what instruments you're talking about. They all will be available, hopefully, soon to you. All right. Then the question from who's this? Shravan. Is the I series Yamaha not orchestral feature had orchestration features? Suppose if we want music orchestra before recording, it can. If can we do in keyboard? Shravan, your question is a bit not so understandable. Are you asking about orchestra before recording, like checking out the patches and the voices? Is what you're trying to say? I see says orchestra features. Suppose if we want music from orchestra before recording. So okay, just I don't know what you actually meant, but what I can understand is you want to check your sounds of the orchestral sounds first and then record. Yes, you can do that. And the keyboard, the string section is humongous. It has got a huge library of different orchestral sounds that you can select before, and then once you're done you can record it. And to add to the recording, you can record up to 5 tracks on the keyboard itself. That means if you have like strings and you want to put a viola or you want to put some violin, and you want to put some brass, you can do that. You can layer them all together while you're recording. Okay, I hope I answered the question to you. Our expansion packs in for i500, no. Rohini, it's not available for i500. It's not an expansion board i500. That's why it is not available. How can we record and send it to our relative, friends, etc.? I mean, Daniel, right now, Adolf just recorded a small phrase, all right, and he played back. So after recording that, you can just put it to your pen drive, or if you are connecting to a computer and if you want to record an audio and send it, you can do that also. But if you want to just share with your friends, like for instance, you are in India and your friends are in Canada or US or wherever, and they also have a series that you give them from India, I500, they can play back the same song. So it actually works more for the students and the teachers. Example, Adolf plays a small piece for the child to learn. He can go back home with the pen drive instead of trying to hold the keyboard and coming to the class and play back the pen drive and see what Adolf taught him while he was learning in the class. Okay? And at that time, he can play the same notes and then it can make him better instead of forgetting the notes. All right? Then, next question: how can I change hertz to 20? What do you mean by 20 hertz? Isaac, I don't understand this question of yours. Are you talking about recording 20 hertz? I really don't know because there's nothing like 20 hertz. Or if you're talking about the power consumption to 20 hertz. Okay, anyway, just write it down and let me know. I'll probably then answer. If it is power related stuff, then maybe you got to get a stabilizer, like a small conditioner that you can switch the. We do that when we get equipment from the US. Then we use that stab. You can get any store, you can use that. If you are talking about recording, then you can just in your DAW that you open, you can just change your setting. But 20 hertz makes no difference. 24 makes a difference. 24 bits, not hertz. Anyway, so and then the question comes: 44 hertz is a standard way we change. Oh, you're talking about tuning. You're talking about tuning 440 hertz. Yeah, you can do that. So internal tuning is 440. Okay, so you can go in the tuning. Adolf, can you just quickly go to the features and probably just change the tuning and show him how it's possible to do that?
Yeah,
I think
so I've pressed the function button here and I've gone to
yes,
the tuning part of it. So the internal tuning is 440 hertz, and
exactly.
I can just reduce, increase it.
Can you just play a note, and just change it?
Okay. See,
There you go. There you go.
there is
I mean,
same note.
Isaac, if you want to know more, there is another feature on the keyboard which is called note changing. So you can change each note with different tunings. Like Arabic, you have different tunings. You can do that with the I series also. Okay. Again, if you guys wanted me to do a special webinar with only the features of the I series, because I see a lot of people asking questions about the I series keyboards, and then more than the subject we're talking about, which is okay. I think we can do another webinar soon with the I series usage only, exclusively for the I series users, and then we can tackle all the problems in detail. All right. So please, you have to email us and let us know that yes, we want to do this. It'll be awesome to then address all these questions. Then we have a question from Vivek. Can you give some exercises for finger practice over the keyboard, please? Vivek, last webinar, I think you missed it. You can always check it online. It is there. I've already explained about finger exercises. You can check that. It'll be much easier for you. We have another question from what's this? Shravan, is this the keyboard for beginners, learners, and alternate keyboard players? The price are humongous. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so as I said, Shravan, this is the i500. This is the teacher's keyboard. The i400 is the student's keyboard. When you talk about the features, it all boils down to what the teacher should have and should need, because the amount of students that come to them are a lot. So they have to have a much advanced board with a lot of other features. The i400 is a much students model, which is much more simpler. It got some easy things inside it. So it is that is how it's categorized. Okay. The next question. Oh, from Jeevan. Sure, we could be glad to attend a webinar only for not i455, Jeevan. We are going to do it on the
Five.
i500 because we don't have the i455. I think it's all sold out with everybody. But I'm sure if you have the i455, then you will definitely learn some stuff. When I use the i500, we can do that. There's a question from Sanjay. Sanjay Datta. Okay. Just I thought for a while Sanjay Dutt came online asking questions. It's really cool. How can we get a shunk or thunder sound in the i455? Well, Sanjay, sorry, you cannot get it in the
I4
i455.
five.
As I said, it doesn't have expansion memory, it doesn't have internal memory to save anything, so you cannot get it. In the i500, yes, you can. You can get the original audio sound, you can put a microphone, you can play the shunk, and you can record it inside the i500. All this cool stuff can be done with the i series, with especially the i500.
500.
Okay. Is there any magnet used? Oh, I really don't know. What do you mean by magnet? So we won. I really don't know what you mean by magnet. So I'm sorry, I don't know this answer. Any other questions we have? Some more questions come. But that's you guys got so many things to ask. It's really cool. I'm really happy that we can do all these questions. At the same time. Yeah. Is there? Yes, I don't think there's any more questions. The last question was from Ivan. We're still waiting for some more questions. Anyone? Did I miss any questions? Then you can just reply again. I'm really sorry if I missed out. There's so many questions coming there. So please, just write it again. I'll probably address it again. Thank you, Anoop. Thanks for your kind, wishes. Really appreciate that. Okay, I think we are, Adolf.
Okay.
We did it. We managed to complete all the questions. That's really awesome.
Yeah, for
Oh,
the people, yeah, with all the nice comments, thank you so much. We loved
exactly.
broadcasting this to you, and I hope you enjoyed the class, and I hope you'll be with us. I want you to be with us in the upcoming webinars. अगर अनजाने में कोई गलती हो गई हो तो प्लीज माफ कर दीजिए. And we had a blast doing this for you. And just due to this thing around us, everyone's locked up inside, and it's a testing time for us. I just want you all to be safe and strong, and that everything is going to be fine. And we'll see you next time.
Exactly. So uh, before we end the session, we have Smita to come. Is going to come back again. Before I forget, please, we are on Instagram, on Facebook. Please connect with us. We'd love to be friends. We'd love to have friends, and everybody likes to have friends. We're on YouTube. Yamaha Music India is the channel. You can visit the website in.yamaha.com. Please check that out for all your other queries. There is the next session, which is going to be really, really, really fun because we're talking about the Indian styles of music. As you know, India is so diverse. It's got so many, itne sare styles hai हमारे India में. We've got friends coming this time from the Northeast. I'm really, very happy. We've got people from Canada. That is really, really awesome. I love the support, and I'm really overwhelmed with all the support that you guys keep giving us every time we do this webinar. And now that we see, we're going to do a special session on Indian styles in music. You'll get to have all these things. You'll have Adolf taking you through all the movies and the ghazals and the evergreen songs. You've got so many things to understand. You've got music database coming up soon, and so much more that I think if you miss it out, it's going to be really, really bad. So do not miss it for next time. Please don't forget to tune again for the webinar. And before I ask Smita to come up, I would just switch this thing now to this place. Yes. So, Smita, are you still there with us? Yep. Okay. Smita there. All right. So I think, yeah, she's here. All right. So there goes Smita. Yep.
Thank you so much, everyone, from Yamaha Music India. I would like to thank everyone for their presence. Hope this session helped you in better understanding of Indian music. So after the session, you will get a thank you mail, a small brief of today's session, and some information about session 4. Also, registration link will be there for session 4. Please don't forget to attend our coming sessions. Stay connected for session 4. That will be on next Wednesday, 15 July at 7:30 p.m. So once again, thank you all for coming. Good night, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you so much.